Hello and welcome to the channel. This is IMAX Sports, and today I am going to start my series. It's going to be 8 different episodes where I predict every single game of the entire NFL season. So I'm going to be going through 64 games today, and that's going to be all of the games in the AFC East. So yeah, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're interested in stuff like this. Everyone is new to the channel, so leave down in the comments below what you think of my predictions, what you would do differently, and let's get started. So first off, I have the Jets. Now, a lot of people might disagree with this. I think that it's pretty accurate. I don't believe that Sam Darnold is going to have the team or the ability to bring the Jets to do anything extraordinary this year. So I have the Jets at 13-3. I think that they're going to lose out to the Bills and the Patriots. And I think that the no-brainer losses for them include San Francisco, Kansas City, Seattle, and even the Rams, since it's in Los Angeles. I think that's a no-brainer there. The other ones, I think that they're going to lose to the Colts because Phillip Rivers has always been a solid quarterback. He's had up and down seasons, but I think that Phillip Rivers versus Sam Darnold, Phillip Rivers has the advantage there. When you go to the Broncos, I think that the Broncos are going to improve this season, and I think that they're going to have a better team than they have in the past couple of years since Peyton Manning left. I have them beating the Cardinals. I think the Cardinals are going to have a good season. I think I have them going either 7-9 or 8-8. We'll get to that in a later video. But I think that the Jets can pull out a win against them because it's at home, and it's going to be one of the earlier games in the season. So I think that since Sam Darnold and Kyle Murray have both had a full year with their team, but I think that Sam Darnold has a slight advantage over the Cardinals in that matchup. Now, when you go to San Diego the next week, I would say the Chargers have the advantage, considering they're at home. I think that Justin Herbert is going to have a good start of the season. I think that he might get off to a rough start, but not too bad, because he's a brand new quarterback and there's going to be no preseason games. But this is week 6. He'll be in his groove. I think that the Chargers will have no problem beating the Jets. Again, I think the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Patriots are all going to do fine against the Jets. I don't see any issues there. I split them with the Dolphins. I think Dolphins will win in Miami. The Jets will win in New York. As far as the Dolphins are concerned, we still don't know if Tua or Fitzpatrick are going to be the starter. I believe Tua should be the starter by this point in the season, but we still don't know. And again, Tua's a rookie. We don't know how well he's going to be doing. We can expect good things from him, but I'm not going to put the Dolphins on a exorbitantly high level without seeing what he can do. So I split them with the Jets. Next we go to the Raiders in Las Vegas, but the Raiders are coming to New York. I think that gives the Jets a huge advantage, considering it's late in the season. It will be cold. I think that will be an easy win for the Jets, their biggest win of the season of the 3 games. And then the Seahawks are the next team. I think that the Seahawks game, again, will be a blowout like the Chiefs. They're in Seattle. The Legion of Boom, the 12th man. I don't see any alternate universe where the Jets win that game. The next week against the Rams, I also don't see the Jets being able to beat the Rams. The Rams have had a solid team the last 3 seasons, going 11-5, 13-3, and 9-7. I think that they're going to go 9-7 or 10-6 again this year, depending on the scheduling. So I think that the Jets will lose that game. I also think that they're going to lose to the Browns and the Patriots. In New England, there's no chance that they beat the Patriots. They might beat them at home, but I don't see any So, I think Baker Mayfield should have no problem beating the Jets. I think that by the end of the season, he's going to need to pick up some extra wins because he's going to want his career to stay on track. I think that he's going to be better than last year. I think they're going to go around 500. I think they can beat the Jets in New York without a problem. Next, we have the Dolphins. So, I think that they're going to split with every single team in the division except for the Bills. I think they're going to split with the Patriots. They're going to split with the Jets, like I just said. I think that the Bills are going to beat them on both occasions because they're in New England the first time for Week 1. I think that in New England, with a new quarterback or Ryan Fitzpatrick, is a recipe for disaster. And then Week 2, they're against the Bills at home, but I think that they're still going to need to be figuring out their team. They're not going to have those preseason games, and the Bills are going to demolish them. And then, by Week 16, they're in Buffalo, and I don't see them winning in Buffalo. So, that's why I have the games how I have them for the Patriots and the Bills. Also, the Patriots always lose in Miami. That happens just about every year, so there's no way that they end up winning that game. So Week 3, in Jacksonville, I think that the Dolphins will take an L because I think Gardner Minshew had a good season last year, he'll improve this year, and the Dolphins are the away team. I think that they don't win that game, they don't beat the Seahawks, and they definitely don't win in San Francisco. I think that their team is still going to be fairly new, fairly figuring it out in the Seattle game. Seattle's going to destroy them, and I think that they need a solid quarterback in the game for at least 4 weeks in a row, the same person, getting a good groove going and before they can win a game. That's why the first one I have is Week 7 against the Chargers. So the Dolphins don't have a preseason. If Tua ends up being their quarterback, he didn't have any preseason games. I think that the preseason games that they're going to be playing are at home against the Bills, away against the Jaguars, away against the Broncos, and at home against the Chargers. I think that away against the Patriots, away against the 49ers, and at home against the Seahawks don't count. Those games are automatic losses. So I think that they're going to go 1-3 in their quote-unquote preseason, and I think that the Chargers are going to be their first win. Justin Herbert also is a rookie quarterback, so if it's Justin Herbert versus Tua, I think Tua prevails in that situation. He has Devontae Parker. He's at home. They have a decent defense. I think the Dolphins can win that game. The next game is the Rams at home. I don't see them beating the Rams. Just like the Jets, I didn't see the Jets beating the Rams. I don't see the Dolphins beating the Rams. The Rams are going to have a better team this year than they did last year. They're going to have a bounce-back season, and I don't think that their team is good enough to win. The next game I have is the Cardinals. Like I said, Kyler Murray's going to have a good season this year. He's going to improve from last year. In St. Louis, the Dolphins don't stand a chance. And we've already gone over the Jets games, and then we just have the last couple weeks. I would say that Dolphins-Bengals, again, you have the rookie Tua against the Bengals, and I think that the Bengals prevail in that situation. I think that you're at home. I think the Dolphins prevail in that situation. I think that Joe Burrow comes into Miami, and he won't be able to keep up with Tua. I think that it's going to be a home victory, and I think the Bengals are going to have a similar season to the Dolphins. So I think that the home field advantage is going to play a big role in that game. Next, you have the Chiefs. The Kansas City Chiefs are always a threat, but I think that by this late in the season, Patrick Mahomes is going to be in a massive groove, and there's no chance of them winning. The next week against the Patriots, week 15, the Dolphins always win in Miami against the Patriots. That's just a thing. That happens every year. And then the final win for Miami is going to come in Las Vegas. I think that Miami's going to have the advantage in that situation. It's not really like that was a questionable game for me. I wasn't really sold either direction, but I think that the Dolphins will have an upper advantage week 16. Now we have the Bills. So I've already gone over all the Dolphins and Jets games. So week 3, we have Bills-Rams. I think that the Rams, again, I think that they're going to win in Buffalo. I think that the Rams are going to have a solid team, and the AFC East just is not strong enough to beat the Rams. Also, week 3, I think Jared Goff has had much more experience with his team than Josh Allen has. I think that Josh Allen is a very strong quarterback, but without the preseason games at the beginning of the season, Jared Goff has more experience and will be able to get into his groove faster. That's why the Bills lose. The next week, in Las Vegas, just like the Dolphins, easy win for the Bills. I think that Las Vegas, the Raiders aren't going to have a huge home field advantage. It's not far from Oakland, but it's still kind of far. And it's a new stadium. It's week 4. The Bills win that game. Week 5, Bills-Titans. I think that in Tennessee, you have Ryan Tannehill, who's used to playing the Bills. You have Derrick Henry, who's used to destroying everything. I think the Titans will beat the Bills in that game, and I don't see the Bills winning in Tennessee. I think that if it was in Buffalo, it would be a different story. It would be a closer game. I don't see them winning in Tennessee. Next week against the Chiefs, I have every team in this division losing to the Chiefs. The Chiefs are beating this entire division. It's not even going to be a question. Next, we've already gone through the Jets, and then the Patriots. I have the Bills splitting with the Patriots. Patriots win in New England. Bills win in Buffalo. I think that between the Bills and the Patriots, both teams are going to have a record between 9-7 and 11-5. Either team could go 8-8, but I don't see it happening. I think I optimistically predicted the Patriots to be better than the Bills, but they could very easily both go 10-6. So I have them split. I have them each winning at home because I think that their teams are just so similar, so comparable, that I think that between Cam Newton and Josh Allen, they're both running quarterbacks. I think that their teams are very comparable, and it's going to be very close. Seattle, easy loss. Now, I have them losing to the Cardinals in St. Louis. For some reason, I just have a feeling that St. Louis is going to have a very strong home front. And I think that the Bills are going to get stuck on Kyler Murray and DeAndre Hopkins. I think that Kyler Murray is going to have something to prove this season, and he's going to bash the Bills. After the Cardinals game, they have the Chargers and Justin Herbert. I think that in Buffalo, the Chargers cannot beat the Bills. I think the Bills have a stronger defense. They have a stronger offense. Their quarterback has been in the league longer, and I think it's a no-brainer. The next week is in San Francisco. I'm just not even going to talk about this. I've mentioned this on every other team. It's just not happening. In San Francisco, it won't happen. And then you have the Steelers and the Broncos as the last two before the divisional games again. So the Steelers have Ben Roethlisberger back, but I think that I'm still not sure how Ben Roethlisberger is going to do this season. I think he's going to have a very solid season, but I don't know what caliber he's going to be playing at. And I think that in Buffalo, it's way up north. It's way far away. They won't have a lot of fans going out there. It's going to be a close game. It's going to be a one-score game, but I think the Buffalo will have the advantage. And then last, we have the Broncos. And I think the Broncos will just get destroyed by the Bills. I don't think it will be close. Like I said, they're going to win in Miami. They're definitely losing in Seattle because the Legion of Boom 12th man, Seattle is going to have a field day this year. Their schedule is super easy. Week 3, they're going to beat the Raiders. I don't see that as an issue. I think that Cam Newton is going to be a much stronger addition to this team than people think he is. And I think that they're going to be able to retain what they did last year because Brady wasn't at his best. If Cam Newton can just do as good as Brady in one of his worst seasons of his career, I think that the Patriots will be able to stay at the same level. Kansas City, week 4, is a loss. That's not even a question. They're in Kansas City. Brady never lost to Kansas City, but I think that Patrick Mahomes will be too much for Cam Newton to handle. Week 5 against the Broncos, I think that will be an easy win at home. If it was in Denver, it would be a different story, but it's at home. And the Patriots don't lose much in New England. Week 6 is against the 49ers. And the reason why I have the Patriots beating the 49ers and nobody else is because it's going to be Bill Belichick versus Jimmy Garoppolo. And Bill Belichick knows Jimmy Garoppolo. He knows how Jimmy Garoppolo plays. He trained Jimmy Garoppolo. He had him for his first 4 years of his career. For between 3 and 5, I think it's 4. And I think that the Patriots will have the upper hand in against San Francisco because it's at home. It's a game against the quarterback and their former coach. And I think it'll be very interesting to watch. I think it'll be a close game. I don't know who's going to win, but I chose the Patriots. Again, like I said, I split them with the Bills. They won both games against the Jets and Dolphins. They won both games against the Jets. And then you get the Ravens. And I think that the Patriots got destroyed by the Ravens with Brady. They're going to get annihilated by the Ravens, the Brady. I think that the Ravens will regress a little bit this year from last year, but I think that they're still going to be a top-level, top-tier team. The next week in Houston, again, a lot of my Patriots predictions are because are how I feel because of being a Patriots fan. We won 2 Super Bowls in Houston. We always beat the Texans in Houston, and I think that will be a win for us. Just because, as history shows, we always win in Houston, we always lose in Miami. Those are 2 games that I almost am certain are going to go the way I expect. The next week after the Texans is the Cardinals. And I have the Patriots beating the Cardinals. It's a home game. New England doesn't like to lose in New England. It doesn't happen a lot. I think we went 7-1 at home last year. Maybe 6-2. We went 6-2 at home last year. I think that we're going to go 7-1 this year. The Ravens are the only team to beat us at home because besides the 49ers, is the only challenging team to play us at home. After the Cardinals, I think that we will beat the Chargers with no problem. I think that we have much more experience on our team, and we're going to be against the rookie quarterback. The next week against the Rams, I think that I've put the Rams winning all of the other games. I think that this Rams game, is going to be the deciding factor, whether or not we're going to be 10-6 or 11-5. I wishfully put the Rams winning that game. I wishfully put the Patriots winning that game. I don't know if it's going to happen. And then the last 3 games are all divisional games. And yeah. So this is my prediction for the 64 AFC East games in the 2020 season. I'm going to be doing 8 videos on this, 1 for every team. So if you like the video, please like, subscribe, put on the notifications if you want to know when I release the next ones. It's going to be about 1 per week. I'm also going to be doing other fantasy football content and news in other sports such as basketball and baseball once they start up. Baseball is starting up today, so I will have a video later this week, beginning of next week, just kind of saying how the baseball season started off. So if you're interested in stuff like that, please subscribe, like down below, comment what you think of my predictions and what you think the AFC East teams are going to go, and what games you think I really got wrong. So thanks for watching, and peace.